Good morning. Merry Christmas Eve. It is December 24th. Wanted to start by saying we're not going to be placing any trades today. I am live right now. I just wanted to jump on here to discuss a couple things with y'all and just go over some of the recent habits that I've started to take on that I think is going to really help catapult my trading journey going into the next year. Just some new rules and habits that are not only going to help me in my day trading life, but also hopefully my personal life as well. Developing into the young man that I am. I'm 31 years old and I live in South Texas. I live by myself in an RV, as you guys may or may not know, and I trade NASDAQ futures with Starlink internet connection. So we got the live chart right now, the 2-minute NASDAQ. There's a little bit of movement going on this morning. It's Christmas Eve, so the market will be closing around noon today, Texas time. And I decided today I'm going to just take a personal day. I'm not going to place any trades this morning, but we were going to hop on here and just go over a couple things. Today I'm going to go exercise, clean the RV up a little bit, read a book, run, and just take today to, reflect on my trading journey so far and what we're going to do going into the next year, and go back test some data today and tomorrow. Just take this time to look through the strategy, look through charts, and get ready for coming back on Thursday. So I wanted to pull up kind of what I've been having on this other screen here while I trade. So these are kind of my rules. This is really simple. This is like super simple stuff, but had I followed these rules for even just the past week or past couple weeks and months, I would have made so much money. So we're going to try this strategy out, try our best to be consistent, disciplined, follow it for, a couple weeks and see what happens. We haven't followed all these rules yet consistently for a full 1 week yet. It seems like each day I break one of the rules, or maybe I'll do well one day and have a green day, but then give it all back the next day by breaking one or two rules. So I haven't shown you guys this yet, but this is what I have pulled up on the other screen. And then I'm going to go over some personal rules too that I have that hopefully will help y'all become better traders. If you're in the future watching this, maybe as I get more subscribers or followers, you're going back and watching some of my videos in a couple months, you'll come across this video and it'll help you. But this is my trading checklist, and then I have a personal checklist. So my trading checklist is really simple. Excuse me. Every time I wake up, I gotta clear my throat and drink water. I don't know what that is. Maybe it might be allergies. Arrive at the desk at 8 a.m. Central Time. So if you're on the East Coast, that would be 9 a.m. Really simple rule. You got to show up on time, right? So that's the first step. The market doesn't wait for you to get to your desk. It doesn't care. It's the market. It opens at a specific time. You got to be there on time. And this technically starts the night before. So it doesn't start the morning of. It starts the night before, which is going into some of my personal rules. Something that I've been doing recently is I turn my phone off around 8 p.m. So at 8 o'clock at night, my phone's on the charger, my alarm set for the following morning, and I have a book in my hand. So the book that I've been reading recently is called We're All Doing Time. It's a really good book. I'm about halfway through it. And then I'm asleep at 9 p.m. Central Time. I know, sounds real boring. No phone, go to sleep early. It's like just, I guess, part of growing up. I'm getting older. I'm like an old man now. But it's worked magic, because one thing I've struggled with my entire life is waking up early and consistently and showing up on time to whatever my job was. And one of the reasons is because I always got away with being late. I got away with being late in homeschool, in middle school, in high school, in college. They didn't care if you showed up to, your lecture late or not. You were paying them money for tuition. If you wanted to miss class, you were an adult. That was on you. And then as I started working jobs, I was a mortgage loan officer. I worked as a manager at Sherwin-Williams. I was a door-to-door professional solar sales rep. All those jobs let me show up late because when I arrived, I worked like the equivalent of 2 or 3 other people. So they would let it slide. They were like, hey, Austin's always like 10 minutes late, 20 minutes late, but when he shows up, he's like a stud. He's the best guy on the whole team. So we're just going to let it happen. With trading, you cannot do that. You have to show up on time every single day consistently. So for me, that starts the night before. Phone away at 8 o'clock and asleep at 9 p.m. And that allows me to sleep until 5 a.m. my time, which is 8 hours of sleep. For you, you may only need 6 hours of sleep. You know, God bless, you know, you need less sleep. Or you may need 9 hours. That's contingent upon the person. And I think that sleep is the number one determinant in your daily performance. So sleep's number one, going to sleep on time and being at the desk at 8 a.m. So that's it. Step 2 is for the trading checklist, mark the 15-minute opening range, the high and the low. That causes us to like force patience and see where the bulls and bears are going to bring the price. If the market's going to be bullish or bearish, all you have to do is sit back, wait, and watch and let it show you. That's the cool thing about that part, is we don't have to get nervous or try to predict what the market's going to do at open. We just have to sit back, relax, and watch it. Another thing I'm going to do on top of my exercise in the morning, usually I go for like a 4 to 5 mile run at 6 a.m. my time. I'm going to stop drinking caffeine. So no more tea, no more coffee. I usually don't drink coffee, but I've been known to drink a cup of tea. And I think that just gets me a little bit too jittery. So we're not going to do that anymore. We're going to just try to stay a little bit more calm, relaxed. I've been putting jazz music on in the morning, so that helps a little bit. If I have a good day trading, maybe I'll reward myself with a cup of coffee or a cup of tea afterwards. You know, but I don't want to drink one in the morning. I want to just stick to, you know, some good old H2O, some good water. That's what I'm drinking now. So stay hydrated. And then the other thing I like to do before I start even trading is I meditate. I meditate for about 45 minutes. I use a guided meditation. It's called a hemisync process, which the CIA developed decades ago, where you put headphones on, and on the right side, there's a certain tone that it plays in your ear that slows down one side of your brain, and on the other side, it speeds up another side of your brain. So it kind of syncs your two hemispheres of your brain together so that you can achieve a very deep meditative state more quickly. Usually it takes people like monks and people that practice meditation years and years to develop that. So that tape kind of helps you achieve that state of mind a little bit quicker, where your body's asleep, but your mind is awake and you can kind of relax and calm down. I haven't had a chance to do that today yet because I overslept a little bit. I decided to sleep in and get a little bit more sleep today. I knew I wasn't going to be trading. I still haven't even gone for my run yet, but I wanted to jump on here and just make this video on Christmas Eve. So I pray. I try to read a little bit of scripture every day and study, exercise, and meditate daily. No drugs or alcohol. I used to drink alcohol. I completely cut alcohol out. Drugs, even coffee and tea, would be considered a drug. So when I say no drugs, I mean no drugs. And then, so that a lot of that stuff happens the night before, throughout my day, the day before I start trading. And then if we jump to step 3 on our trading checklist, that's to observe, price, create bull or bear flags above or below the 15-minute range. So yesterday, if we go to yesterday's 15-minute range, or these two horizontal yellow lines, we set the top and the bottom, and then we observed it create a bull flag underneath the range. Now this one was a little tricky because it closed above the 21 EMA, started pushing above VWAP. It put in a lower high all the way up here, but this was kind of a really big pullback, and then it was kind of tricky in this area because it broke below and then pulled up and then broke below again before taking that huge dip. So not a super clean bear flag, a little tricky. And then we really didn't get that big continuation. We started kind of pulling back up into the 15-minute range, closed above it, and then just continued to kind of slowly grind back up until 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So, but that's what we're looking for. We're looking for it to kind of create a bear flag below the 15-minute range before we take our first trade. And then we're targeting 10 points minimum. And then just a couple just simple rules. Like, we always want to stay as close to the 21 EMA as possible on our entries. That kind of helps lower our risk and give us a better risk to reward, tighter stop loss if we get our entries real close to that blue line. And we never want to like short right above a pivot or right above VWAP, and don't want to long right below VWAP or a pivot point, because those can act as support and resistance areas. And then our newest rule that we added, which was on Thursday, is our entries, like how we know on top of all that where to enter, like to the exact point on the scale, is when we're longing, we want to get long right after the break of the previous candle high. And when we're shorting, we want to get short right below the break of the previous candle low. And we kind of messed that up Friday and Monday a little bit. Friday, it cost us $600, and Monday we still ended up in the green, fortunately, but we really want to try to stick to those rules. So I have this checklist right in front of me on another screen in the middle, and it almost acts as like a heads up display, kind of like pilots have, like fighter pilots will have their heads up display in the cockpit, or on their goggles on their helmet. They'll be able to observe, you know, their targeting equipment when they're in dogfights, when they're like fighting other planes. They can literally look with their head and aim at the other plane, and then, you know, utilize their weapon system in a fight. It's kind of the same thing. I wanted my rules kind of up, where my head is up in front of me, displayed in front of me, versus having them written down on a piece of paper on my desk where my head is looking down. So, because then I wasn't really paying attention to it as much. You get so locked in and focused on what's going on the screen that you forget about the piece of paper and the rules below you. And we do that sometimes when we get too locked in on what's going on lower time frames. Like, we might be just looking at the 1 minute chart, and we're looking at the price and everything, and we're forgetting to like keep in mind what's going on the big picture, the hourly time frames, right? So it's kind of a similar idea. But did have the market just open up about 8 minutes ago. So, you know, I said I'm not going to take any trades. We are kind of chopping right now on the 21 EMA, that we would be on the step of marking the high and the low of the first 15 minutes right now, which so far the market's moved about 50 points. So pretty good Christmas Eve morning. You know, hopefully, you know, who knows? The market could create a nice bunch of setups this morning. Maybe we should have traded this morning, but I'm going to follow what I said I'm going to do, which is we're not trading this morning. So I'm going to take this time to go for a run, do my meditation, the things that I normally have already finished before trading. We didn't do that yet. And then I'm going to take today to just do some cleaning, run, go for my exercise, enjoy Christmas tomorrow. Hope everybody has a Merry Christmas, and we'll be back Thursday morning, 8:15 Texas time, 9:15 if you're on the East Coast. And I hope you guys learned something from this video. And I just kind of wanted to journal. It's kind of the rules that I've recently implemented for myself, and I think they can only help you in your personal life too. I mean, no drugs and alcohol and going to sleep at the same time, waking up at the same times, all pretty good rules, even if you're not a day trader, right? So it's all connected, and I'm excited to see how our results play out in the next couple of weeks and months as we implement these new personal rules and trading rules. So, all right, guys, that's it. God bless. I will see y'all Thursday. Happy holidays, guys. Later.